David Hayter, who is the voice of Snake in Metal Gear and so many other things. That's the picture they got up for you for the expo right now. I'm curious, is that what most people are coming to see you for, or is there something else? That's the one?
Yeah, I mean, as you say, I've done a lot of things. I've been in this business for many, many years, and but Snake is by far the most famous thing. I've done bigger movies, but I do them as a writer, and people don't really attach to writers in the same way as they do to actors.
My next question to you is about the writing, because the MCU is the biggest film franchise, whatever you want to call it, that's basically empire that's ever existed, and the MCU does not happen without Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, without the Blade movie, and of course the X-Men trilogy, which you wrote the first, co-wrote the second. Have you, one, how did that start, and two, have you called Kevin Feige up and said, like, look, we go way back, it's time to give me something, man?
Yes. X-Men, the first X-Men was my big break as a screenwriter. It's a long, complex story how it happened, but I was one of the few people on set that really knew the X-Men. It was me and Kevin Feige, who was one of the assistants at the time, and we started advising the director on what the X-Men were all about, and he started having me rewrite the script. So it's sort of a crazy story. And yes, I had a meeting with Kevin Feige. I guess it was just before the pandemic, and I was like, and we just sat down, we had a meeting and we went, and I was like, you guys look like you're doing some fun things here, I'm always available, but I haven't heard from them since.
Well, you never know, the mutants are coming in the future of the MCU, maybe you'll be called back for a little something.
Maybe so.
With you've done, obviously, writing for X-Men, The Watchmen, you've done voice acting for plenty of Star Wars games, and King Shark in the Flash series.
That's right, where's the Flash?
And so I'm interested, of the three, kind of the big three there, Marvel, Star Wars, and DC, which do you attach to personally the most?
Well, it's hard to say. I've got a relationship with all of them. DC was sort of my first love. I loved comic books, and I was collecting, Batman and Superman when I was 5 years old, and then I got a little older, and I started collecting Marvel comic books. Star Wars came out when I was 8, and I got obsessed then. So it's really like it is for the world. These are the three pillars of my upbringing, really.
Awesome. What you have so much experience both in voice acting and in writing. How did you make the transition from one to the other? And what do you feel do you have a more passion towards one and the other just kind of paying the bills, or are they a bit of both?
No, they're a bit of both. It's sort of two different headspaces, the writing and the voicing, but it's really nice to be able to just go in and play and do a voice, or to sit down and use my brain to write a script. I mean, they're different disciplines, but I love them both. The opportunity to make a living and pay your bills just by making up stories or doing voices is a rare gift. So there is no downside. There's nothing I do just for the money. It's all out of love.
And I think that is very evident in your performances and in your writing, because, like I said, it is cool to be a nerd now in 2020. You can like superheroes, and it's great. That hasn't always been the case, and we don't get what we have today without those X-Men movies, without Watchmen and things like that. So thank you for your service, essentially.
Well, thank you. I mean, but you're exactly right. It's all about expressing the things that you love, and I loved X-Men so much, and that came through in what I was writing for the movies, and I think if you don't have that, it just feels kind of soulless, and so yeah, I don't take on anything unless I can really get my heart going.
And would you have interest in helping bring the mutants to the MCU, or is there particularly a other story that you would kind of love to be a part of or help out with one day?
Well, there's a ton of comic book stories that I love. I mean, but I would absolutely love to come back and work on X-Men for the MCU. that's where I got my start. And you've inspired me to send Kevin an email and just say, hey, what's up, man?
Perfect. Feel free to just write Agents of Fandom, TJ, in there. No,
I will.
Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me. You've had a very busy booth, and so I'm very thankful that we've been able to do this.
No, it was my pleasure.
It was great meeting you, and you can find this interview at agentsofandom.com, as well as all of our other guests from the expo. So thank you so much.
My pleasure. And to all the fans of Agents of Fandom, just remember this: you're pretty good.